solution first.
So you said it's not to take the general solution.
Not in greater detail. I said it's not in greater detail. You just have to know up to the formula which I introduced last time. Alright. Yeah, we made it a bit easier for you, but some classes they are a little bit behind us, so it's not fair for us to test you on the hardcore questions. Alright, so alright, so first thing we need to find the general solutions, then we will use those two general solutions to determine the two exact values of b. So first thing we'll divide both sides by 4. Right, so we get sine b plus 30 degrees is equal to minus 3 over 4. Then we introduce shift cos, that is the reference angle. So in this case it will be shift sine of minus 3 over 4 plus k times 360, where k is an integer. Right? What is shift sine of minus 3 over 4? Huh? Negative? Why negative? From what? Plus k times 360, where k is an integer. Right, now I need to emphasize to all of you, that this angle here that you get from your calculator, that's your reference angle. Okay? That's your reference angle. You don't have to convert it to a positive. Okay? Because this k times 360 here, it caters for both positive and negative values. Okay? So that's our reference angle. Then we want b, so we take the 30 degrees to the right. So we end up getting b equal to minus 78, 59 degrees plus k times 360, where k is an integer. Right? So that's the first general solution. That one there. The second one, we subtract the reference angle from 180 degrees. Okay? I hope you went over the formula I gave you last week, the 5 formula. Right? So, say O, B plus, something is wrong with that. Okay, let me just see how I can. We have our two general solutions. Okay, let me just indicate the two general solutions. So we've got this one here for the second quadrant, and this one for the first quadrant. Okay, I'm going to emphasize this. Okay, as I was telling the grade 12, because I know some of you go for tuitions and stuff, there is no need to convert that to a positive. Okay, there is no need. If someone tells you, you must tell that my teacher told me that there is no need because of this k times what? 360. Okay, you must tell them. Okay, and I showed you, listen, I showed you with the graph as well. Okay, let me show you, let me go back to the graph. I want to show you this, right? So, okay, I never showed you this, isn't it? But I did, I did, but last time. Now, I just need to emphasize it for the last time. Okay? If you look at this graph here, it's the graph of y equal to sine x, right? Now, the amplitude is 1, obviously, in this case, so the maximum value of y is minus 1. And it means that the maximum value of the ratio is going to be 1, and the minimum is going to be minus 1. Let's say the ratio is, or the value of y is minus 0.5, which means the ratio will be minus 0.5. So you draw your horizontal line, passing through y equal to what? Minus 5. Now, here I only drew it from minus 1080 up to 1080, which is positive. How many solutions do we have? Count them. Yeah, how many? Yeah, 13 solutions, right? Yeah, 13. Does it mean that these are the only solutions to that trig equation? No. Right. Now, do you agree with me that some of the solutions are negative, others are what? Positive. There is no rule which says you must give your answer here. The reference angle here must be positive. That's not true. This reference angle here, the one you get from your calculator, you can use that value to determine all the other possible what? Solutions. Right? If you convert it to a positive, it is the same as putting k equal to 1 here. If you put k equal to 1 here, you get positive 360 plus, and negative here, you get a positive angle. So there is no need. If you make it positive, and if I substitute here a negative 1, you will get the same reference angle. Are you following? Yeah, if you're not following, then you end up being told all sorts of things. Right. Let me carry on. Yes, and it makes me very upset because, and the other thing as well, which I was telling the grade 12s, can you pay attention? There is no mark given for writing reference angle equal to, this is your reference angle here. Mr. Chiponda is told that the angle you get from your calculator, that's your reference angle. Why do you have to write it down? There's no point. It's here. It's here. This is your reference angle. Okay? And if you say quadrant 1, quadrant 2, for what? This angle here, minus 48.59, it's in which quadrant? Huh? It's the fourth quadrant. Because sine is what? Because sine is negative. You see that? So this angle here, it caters for the fourth quadrant. Then this one here, 198.59. Which quadrant is that? Third quadrant. So this one is for the third quadrant. That one is for the what? Fourth quadrant. Right? No need to write quadrant 1, quadrant 2. There's no need for that. Right? This formula, listen. This formula here, I spoke about this last time. I told that you must give me the money if you are being told the incorrect things. Okay, look here. Listen. When I first introduced the general solution, I told you need to memorize these two for sine. Okay, there are two general solutions for sine. Two. Right? Whether the ratio is positive or negative, these two will cater for both cases. These two. If you just follow them without any stress, no confusion. Right? And also here, whether this ratio is positive or negative, this plus or minus here, it caters for both cases when the ratio is positive and the ratio is what? Negative. No stress. And here, right? This shift term of minus 1 here, that's your reference angle. Because of this k times 180, it caters for all four quadrants, depending on whether the ratio is positive or negative. Yes? There is no mark allocated for writing that. Okay? And that's not necessary. Because these formulae, they cater for those quadrants that you want to write down. Why do you want to stress yourself? There's no need. This one here, okay, look here. Can you pay attention? Pay attention. You see, sometimes if you know something, it's a treasure. Do you understand what I mean? Yes, it's a treasure. Am I right? Yeah, if you know something well, it becomes what? A treasure. Okay, wait here. Can you look and pay attention? If, say, A is positive, right? You substitute there, you get a positive angle in the first quadrant. always, right? Then you subtract that positive angle from 180, you get the second angle in the second quadrant. So why do you have to write quadrant 1, quadrant 2? Why? Okay, there's no need for that, right? And listen, if it was negative, pay attention, if it was negative, whatever angle you get here is going to be negative. And it's most likely to be acute. If it's not acute, it will be a negative angle which is obtuse, which means it will be either for the fourth and the what? And the third quadrant, depending on how the value is. Then the second one that you get from here, it will be for the other quadrant. Okay? So, and marks are allocated for the general solution itself, not for writing quadrant 1, quadrant 2 reference angle. No, there's no need for that. Right? Okay, let's get on. Okay, so I'm here. Wait, I'm here. I found my two general solutions. Now I need to use them to determine the actual values of B. And the restriction says B lies between minus 360 and 0 degrees. Both endpoints are included because of the square brackets. So check this now. Right? So we'll say when K is 0, okay? When K is 0, what is B equal to? Okay? I'm substituting K now. K is an integer. Okay? So if I put K equal to 0 here, I'll get minus 48,59. It's a solution. Okay? For the second one, if I put K equal to 0, that's not a solution, isn't it? If I put K equal to 0, 198, which is positive, is not in that interval. So I don't need 198,59. Then I'll move on to K equal to 1. Okay? So when K is 1, what is B? Right? So if you substitute K equal to 1 here, you get minus 48,59 plus 360. Can you stop that? Do you want me to ask you to go outside? Okay. What answer do you get? 300 and what? Okay, but it's positive.
Yes.
So we don't want it to be positive. Then here, if you put K equal to 1, you won't get a solution in that interval. So let's move on to K equal to what? To minus 1. So here we don't get B. Okay, let me just write here. Let me just take it out. Okay, so let me just take that out. So K equal to 1 will not give us any solution. So let's dot K equal to minus 1. Right? If I put minus 1 here, where there is K there, I'll get a value which is outside that interval. Then for this one here, if I put K equal to minus 1 here, I'm going to get a solution. So what will be 198,59 minus 360? What will be? Negative. So you get B equal to negative 161,41. Right? If you try K equal to 2, you won't get a solution. If you try K equal to minus 2, you won't get a solution. So what that means is that B is going to be equal to minus 48,59 degrees, or it's going to be equal to minus 161,41 degrees. Okay? Now, these two solutions, they are not the only ones, but they are the correct ones based on the given restriction. This is our restriction here. So if you substitute those two values, where there is B in the original equation there, you must get the answer on the right-hand side. That's all. Yes?
So when you have K
equals to 0, why was it not negative 78,59?
Negative 78,59. Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, I put K for this. Okay, so it means I put the incorrect answer there. Right, let me change that. So that's not correct. Okay, please remember that our general solution is this one here. It's this one. So I put that one by mistake. It's this one. Alright, let's correct that. Minus 78,59. This is minus 78,59. That's the correct one. Can you go outside for a while, please? Stand up and go outside for a while. So this is minus 78,59. Okay, let's change that too. Can you stand up and go outside for a while? Okay, so it's fine now, right? Please take note. Our general solution is that. So when K is 0, our answer will be minus 78,59, not minus 48,59. Okay, please take note of that. Okay. Do you have any problem? Are you sure? Yeah, our general solution is this one. Okay. So when K is 0, the answer is this. Okay, and here when K is negative 1, you get another solution. All right. Okay. Any question?
So how many marks will you get for this question?
Well, maybe 5. Maybe 5 or 6. Somewhere there. 5 or 6. It could be quite a lot because you may get marks for the general solutions first. K is an element of Z, that could be another mark. Then those two values. So it could be at least 5 marks in total. At least 5 marks. All right.
So if they don't give you a restriction.
Here, our equation is that. So we just have to determine the common factor, okay, which is going to be cos theta. So you get 5 cos theta plus 1 equal to 0. Okay, please treat this 5 cos squared theta as maybe 5x squared plus x equal to 0, like that. So it's quadratic. Okay, please take note of that. It's quadratic. If it's quadratic, then you must have 2 solutions for cos theta. So you equate each factor to 0, you get cos theta equal to 0, or 5 cos theta plus 1 equal to 0, which means cos theta will be negative 1 over 5. Now, before I move on, can you pay attention? Before I move on, it's important for you to also know that the values of cos theta, they lie between minus 1 and 1. So if you get a ratio which is more than 1, it means there's no solution. If the ratio is less than minus 1, there's no solution if you are dealing with cosine. Also, when you are dealing with sine as well, the ratios must lie between minus 1 and 1. Any ratio which is outside that interval, it will give you, it won't give you a solution. Right? Now, once I have got these two, I'm almost there. I'll bring in my general solution. So theta for the first equation, this one here, theta is going to be plus or minus shift cosine of 0, which I know is 90 degrees. Okay, times k is an element of z. So here I'll get my 2 general solutions, plus or minus 90 degrees plus k times 360, where k is an integer. So these are the first 2. Please take note, these are the first 2 solutions. Right? Then the second one, from here I'll have theta equal to plus or minus shift cosine of minus 1 over 5 plus k times 360 degrees, where k is an integer. So you get theta equal to, what is shift cosine of minus 1 over 5? It's what? 101.54 degrees plus K times 360 degrees, where K is an integer. Right? So I've got 2 as well there. So we have got 2 general solutions there. Okay, how do I know that there are 2? Because of this. This plus or minus here. It caters for all the quadrants. This plus or minus, it caters for all the quadrants. So in total, how many general solutions? 4. Yes.
So you have to show it like this.
What do you mean?
Like, you have to show it for the y equation on one side.
Yes, because there are two equations. There's this one here.
You have to divide our equations to, or can you write it one underneath each other?
You can write them one underneath each other. Right. In my case, I just divided here because I didn't want to go to the next page. Okay, it's your book. In your case, it's your book. Okay, it's your book. Right? Okay. Now, here, if you were to allocate marks, like the first mark will be for factorization, right? Then we could give a mark for simplifying. You see, what you should stress yourself with is to simplify to a simple equation like this or a simple equation like that. That's what should stress you out, right? The rest, you should know your concepts from algebra, right? Know your concepts from algebra, memorize the formula which Mr. Chiponda taught you, then you are going to be fine. Is that clear to everyone? Yeah. So if you were to go somewhere for tuition, listen, wait. If you were to go for tuition, just say, no, give me the question, I'll start doing the question. That's all. Yes. Because you are going to get confused. I'm telling you, you are going to get confused. You see, the trial examination, so the March test, I marked the 3 questions on the general solution, the grade 12s, right? All of them, 137 of them. I saw lots of things. No, I'm serious. Yeah? Okay. The solutions that I saw, I couldn't believe it. Okay, yes?
So, over there, for 10 theta, where does 10 theta lie?
Okay, any value. It's only unique to cos and sine when you are supposed to have that restriction. Please take note that these restrictions I wrote here, they are only applicable to cosine and sine. Okay. Alright? For tan, you get any angle for any value. Alright. Is there anybody else with any question?
Not allocation.
Oh, okay. That's still Alright. Okay, so I was saying you could give for these 2. Okay, you can give for those 2 because simplifying from here all the way up to here, it's a very important skill. And it's actually the most important because before you get to the general solutions, you have to pass through those 2. Right? So give a mark for both of them. Then there's no mark for this one. The mark is 2 marks here. Right? And there's no mark for writing reference angle equal to. Please be aware of that. Right? And then here, you get your 2 marks. And there's no mark for writing quadrant 1, quadrant 2. You know, I always laugh when I see that. Because, yes. Because it's a waste of time. Yes. No, it makes me upset because people are being told things that are necessary. You see here. I hope you are understanding what I'm saying. Yeah. Here. Your quadrants are sorted out. There. That plus or minus there, it sorts out all the what? The quadrants. Yes?
So you don't get multiple K's in
Yeah, okay. That's also. Listen. Aaron has just mentioned something very important. For writing K, listen. For writing K is an element of Z, 1 mark. Okay? Right? So here, this question here could be allocated 6 or 7 marks. This question. And listen, those 6 or 7 marks, you can get all of them. Okay? If you follow what I'm saying here, you get all of them. You know,